What's happening, friends? Joker here with some more Destiny gameplay from the House of Wolves expansion. Today I'm going to show you how to defeat Skolas in the level 35 Prison of Elders with no burns on. And this gameplay is from the recent hotfix that Bungie implemented, where they effectively removed all elemental burns from this fight and also reduced Skolas' overall health while at the same time adjusting the spawn rate of all additional enemies. So here's what you do. This strategy revolves around the idea that you have to be very mobile and you're going to need to move between the far left and far right sides of the map, and also that the enemies will spawn the moment you enter the room, as well as at every quarter health interval thereafter. So every time that you take 25% of Skolas' health away, that'll be your signal that the next wave of enemies will begin respawning. As soon as you enter the room with your fire team, you're going to want to head to either far side of the map. You can select the far right side platform or the far upper left platform. It doesn't really make a difference because your whole objective is to be nearby the servitor that's going to spawn from either of those sides, while also establishing a good line of sight on Skolas. Now in this first instance, when you're first moving to one side of the map or the other, these enemies will be rather spread out, giving you the opportunity to actually go ahead and destroy the servitor and start damaging Skolas as much as you can in this instant. As you continue damaging Skolas, he will eventually blink very close to your present location, and that is your cue to then move with your whole fire team to the opposite platform from the one you first chose. Now the pattern will go like this until the servitor bonds are broken. You will kill off all the additional enemies, you'll then destroy the servitor nearest to you, in which you start firing and damaging as much as you can on Skolas, and by that point Skolas will likely have moved very close to your current position, and that's your signal to then move again to the opposite side of the map, and that's when you literally just repeat that cycle. You will do this until the servitor bonds are broken, and then that's when the first true set of objective type play comes into the picture. Once these servitor bonds are broken, one random player in your fire team will be affected by Skolas' devouring essence. This player will have a visual cooldown on their screen of 30 seconds, in which that player has 30 seconds for this essence to be absorbed by another player, or else that first player dies. Now, any other player in your fire team can absorb this essence at any time within that 30-second interval, but you do want to play this smart on exactly when you choose to absorb this essence from your marked teammate. And shortly after this happens, the first set of mines will spawn that you'll have to dismantle. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can go about dealing with this objective while still continuing the cycle of killing additional enemies and then ultimately damaging the boss. The first approach would be that all three of your fire team members would move together, going from mine to mine, dismantling the objectives. The obvious advantage of this is that those mines would be dismantled a lot faster than if it was just one person, but the major risk is that you are focusing all the enemy's fire, including Skolas' fire, on your exact position. I personally found it to be a little bit easier when you divide up your fire team, as in you have two players stay in the general vicinity of the known spawn points of the closest mines, and another player heading to the opposite side of the map to do the exact same thing. The two players that would stay behind would include the player that's marked by the devouring essence, and the player that would head over to the opposite side by him or herself would preferably be a Sunsinger Warlock with self-res. Whichever way you choose, you should be able to dismantle these mines and then just focus on killing off additional enemies and ultimately Skolas. Now I want to encourage you to not worry if this boss battle takes a lot longer than you expected or if mistakes are made. I mean, it's going to happen. As you see here with me, I'm trying to evade fire from one enemy and I end up sliding right into a Dregs grenade at the exact moment that my health was super low. Things are going to happen that you can't control, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. If you find yourself being the last player alive, the only thing you got to do is just locate the side of the map that has the least amount of enemies alive, go through that route, that side of the map, and just do a giant circle, coming back to your teammates and reviving them. The important theme here is don't stress out, don't freak out if things go south. In the end, as long as you follow these strategies or just employ very common sense, no nonsense countermeasures, everything will work out and you will eventually kill Skolas. So there it is, my friends. That's how you take out Skolas in the level 35 Prison of Elders. My name is Joker, and I just want to give a brief shout out to all my fellow Guardians out there. Hope you guys have a very fun week, and best of luck in this level 35 prison. Like this video if you liked it, and thank you for hanging out and watching. I'll see you next time.